Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. Today I will be taking you through a tutorial for the Easy Set. I love this pattern. It's so easy to sew and so easy to style, whether you're wearing it at home, lounging around, or out to the grocery store, whatever. It's great. PDF patterns are available for purchase. Follow the link below. For this pattern, you'll need 1.75 meters of fabric, 60 inches wide. I used a blend of cotton and hemp, but you can use any light to medium weight woven such as linen, cotton lawn, cotton poplin, or tencel. Anything like that would be suitable. You'll also need 2-inch wide elastic cut to your waist measurement plus a 1-inch seam allowance. Let's get started with the Easy Tank. Step 1. Darts. Mark the dart point on the wrong side of your fabric using fabric chalk or a fabric marker. Fold your fabric matching your dart notches. If needed, draw a guideline from the dart notches to the dart point. This will represent your dart legs and can be used as a guideline for sewing. Sew along the chalk guideline, backstitching at the beginning of the dart leg. As you approach the dart point, reduce your stitch length to about 1.5 to 2. Continue sewing past your dart point and off your fabric edge for about 2 inches or so. Cut the thread, but leave yourself enough length to easily thread a hand sewing needle. Secure the thread tail inside the dart by using the needle to pierce a single layer of the folded fabric at the dart point. Bring the needle back through the fabric about 3/4 of an inch to an inch from the dart point and trim your thread. Press your dart towards the hem. Next up is the neckline. Fold the raw edge under towards the wrong side of the fabric 1/2 inch. Open this fold and use the press line as a guide while folding the raw edge under 1/4 of an inch. Encase the raw edge by folding along the 1/2 inch press line, which is now going to measure 1/4 of an inch wide. Finger press or press again with the iron if needed. Edge stitch along the fold. Repeat with the back neckline. Onto the side seams. Match the dart to the notch on the back pattern piece. With the right sides together, sew side seams together with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Press the seam open and then press the seam towards the back. Finish the seam with a serge. This is, after all, called the easy tag, or finish as desired. A 1/4 inch wide flat felled seam, self-bound, or bias bound seams would all be great options if serging is not available. Next up is the armhole. We're going to start by creating a 1/4 inch wide double fold bias tape. We can do this using a handy little tool called the bias tape maker. Insert the fabric strip into the tool with the wrong side facing up. Press as you pull the fabric strip out. You can also create a bias tape without one of these tools. Simply fold the raw edges to meet in the middle and press. Fold the fabric strip in half again and press. Open one end of the bias tape and fold 1/2 inch of the short side in. This will clean finish our raw edge. Line the fold up with the side seam on the right side of the armhole. Sew the bias tape along the armhole with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. You can follow the first press line as a guide. Overlap the bias tape at the side seam by 1/2 inch. Ensure the strap will not be twisted on the shoulder before attaching the bias tape along the other side of the armhole. Sew with a 1/4 inch seam allowance or use the press line as a guide. Before we finish the armhole, we're going to sew the bias tape close along the shoulder. This is going to become our strap. To do this, we begin by edge stitching a 1/4 inch or so below the neckline, back stitch. Don't worry, this will not be visible to the right side of the garment after we clean finish the armhole. Continue edge stitching until you reach the back neck. Just as with the front neck, continue stitching below the back neckline for about a 1/4 inch or so. Don't forget to back stitch. To reduce the bulk at the underarm, we're going to trim the inner seam allowance of the bias tape. Be cautious when trimming. You don't want to snip too close to the stitch line. It's best to leave approximately 1/8 of an inch between the seam and the cut line. We're only going to cut the bias tape seam allowances that will be encased inside the bias tape. Starting at the back neck, fold the bias tape to the inside of the tank top's armhole. Make sure the bias tape is encasing all of the raw edges inside the tape. Edge stitch along the fold of the bias tape, back stitching at the front and back neck. For more stability, add a vertical or a horizontal bar tack where the strap joins the front and back neck. A bar tack is a close, narrow zigzag stitch used to reinforce areas of stretch or additional wear. You can find these along pocket openings, belt loops, or a fly opening on a pair of jeans. Next up, hem. We're going to finish the hem using the same process we used at the neck. Fold the raw edge under towards the wrong side of the fabric a ½ inch. Open and use the press line as a guide while folding the raw edge under a ½ inch. Encase the raw edge by folding along the ½ inch press line, which is now measuring a ½ inch wide, finger press or press again with the iron if needed. Edge stitch along the fold. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.